we've got into a very dire situation. So the transition to IPv6, yeah, it didn't happen immediately. Okay, and IPv6 has been around actually for at least I'm thinking about the 1990s now. It was actually invented. So, but it's taken time. Okay, but some of the techniques that will allow IPv4 addressing to exist with IPv6 addressing. Well, if you look at the protocols that are coming out, for example, you look at OSPF, um, OSPF. You look at OSPF is a protocol which has been developed to be able to use IPv4 and later IPv6 as well. So it can work with both. So there's been ways that we can use both types of addressing. Both types of addressing can be used. So I'm just looking at my other monitor here. So we've got something that's called dual stacking. So 6 to 4 tunneling and 4 to 6 tunneling. Dual stacking is a technique that allows a device. It allows a device to become configured with both IPv4 and IPv6 addressing and to participate in IPv4 and IPv6 networks simultaneously. The 6 to 4 tunneling technology, allows an IPv4 network to encapsulate and transform IPv6 traffic, and the 4 to 6 tunneling technology allows an IPv6 network to encapsulate and transport IPv4 traffic. So if we move on now to task 3, you will implement IPv6 addressing on the WAN link that connects the Tampa, Orlando, Daytona, and Miami routers. Now, you will not implement IPv6 addressing on the WAN link that connects the Miami and Key West routers or on the LANs. So we just need to implement IPv6 addressing on the WAN links that connect these 4 cities here, these 4 city routers. Now, the diagram and table, they show the IPv6 addresses that should be assigned to each of the WAN links. Okay, so what do we need to do? We need to configure IPv6 addressing on these links here. So we need to ensure that IPv6 is enabled on those interfaces and that we configure those interfaces correctly. So firstly, let's configure the Tampa router. So we need to go into the Tampa router. And so we can now, if we actually look at question 3 now, review the commands used to assign an IPv6 address to an interface. You compare these commands to the commands you currently use to assign IP addresses to an interface. So review the commands used to assign an IPv6 address to an interface. You compare these commands to the commands you currently use to assign IP addresses to an interface. So what are the differences? Okay, there are differences, and so there are some differences because when it comes to IPv4, we use the IP address command, right, to configure an interface in IPv4. But with IPv6, it's almost the same. We just use an IPv6 address. Okay, we use that in interface configuration mode to assign an IPv6 address in that .hexadecimal notation with a classless interdomain routing prefix links. Okay, so that's the answer there. So now let's finally actually go into enabling IPv6 routing on the 4 routers. Okay, so let's go into Tampa first. Okay, my lab's playing up a little bit, so there's a little way we can just correct this. I'm not closing the lab. I'm just I just go as if I'm about to save it, but I just cancel out that, and then that normally solves this little bug or whatever. There's a little problem with this lab where you kind of leave it it's a great product, but sometimes it can the terminal's not working. You have to it looks, you kind of go here as if you're going to save the file and you cancel out. It looks like you've been thrown out the lab, but then you throw you back in and then the terminal works again. So it's just one of those things with the software. I mean, it's not like GNS3 or EvenG. It's more like a packet tracer based online. So it gives you the benefit that you do need to install anything on your computer. You can use it on different computers without installing any software. So it's a great product. It's just one of the little things that that doesn't work so well in it. But all in all, it's a great product. So let's go and type in admin now, and type in enable, and now type in oh, that's weird. Type in Cisco. Right, that takes me to global. Privilege exec mode. Okay, privilege exec mode. Now we just need to enable IPv6 routing, and so it's just a case of doing. So what we need to do is we need to go into global configuration mode and then do IPv6 unicast hyphen routing, right? So that will enable it on all on this Tampa router. We just need to do the same thing now on the other routers. So Orlando, Daytona, and Miami, not Key West. So if you go to Orlando, type in admin, and now enable. Cisco conft now IPv6 unicast hyphen routing, right? So that's Orlando there, done. Daytona, admin again, and now enable Cisco conft and now IPv6 unicast hyphen routing, and then finally let's do Miami. So admin, sorry, typo, fat fingered that there. Admin, enable, type in Cisco as the password, conft IPv6 unicast hyphen routing. Oh, missed a space there. So just correct that. Great. Okay, so that's all done now. That's 4 routers, right? That we've enabled IPv6 routing on them. So, okay, what we need to do now is assign the appropriate IPv6 addresses on all 4 of these. Okay, just looking at my different monitor, but we are now on task 3.5. Okay, so if we just view the answer for 3.4, configure terminal IPv6 unicast routing, configure terminal IPv6 unicast routing, and yeah, repeat. So on Tampa, Orlando, Daytona, and Miami, we need to assign appropriate IPv6 addresses. So this is the table here. We need to assign these IPv6 addresses. So what we need to be doing is first log on to the Tampa router. We just need to go into the interface 000. So let's go to Tampa. So all we need to do is interface serial 0/0, right? And now IPv6 address, not IPv4 address. If it was IPv4, we just do IP address. IPv6 address is what we need to do. And now let's type in that IPv6 address. So it's here. Okay, so this is Tampa 000/2001/011 :1/64. Right, so 2001 colon 0 colon 1 colon 1 colon 1, and we do /64. So that's their configure now. Sorry, I'll zoom in the screen a bit so you can see it a bit better. 2001 colon 0 colon 1 colon 1 colon 1 /64. Let's go into interface 0/0/1 now. There we go. Sorry, it's a bit buggy, this lab. Sometimes you type in a digit, it doesn't quite type, or you might. So let's do IPv6 address again, and now we'll enter the address for that for that interface. So it's colon 0 colon 1 colon 3 colon 1 /64. I'm just going to quickly speed through this now. So that's Tampa done. Let's go into Orlando. Let's do the same thing now. So IPv6 address 2000 and sorry, I'm getting too ahead of myself here. What am I doing? We need to go into the interface first. So interface serial 0/0 IPv6 address 2001 colon 0 colon 1 colon 3 colon 1 /64. Great. Now let's go into 00/1 IPv6 address 2001. Oh, sorry, I've configured that interface wrong. Sorry, I've just had a look. I was looking at the wrong IP address there. Sorry, silly me. Made another mistake there. IPv6 address. So I should have. I actually accidentally was looking at the Tampa. I was actually looking at that. Sorry, this one. I should have been looking at the top one for this row here for Orlando. So it's 2001 colon 0 colon 1 colon 1 colon 2 /64. So let's go back into Orlando. So IPv6 address 2001 colon 0 colon 1 colon 1 colon 2 /64. Right, so that's 00/0 there done. Right, so now let's go into the interface serial 0/1 IPv6 address 2001 colon 0 colon 1 colon 0 colon 1 /64 or 65/64 2001 colon 0 colon 1 colon 0 colon 1 /64. Great. Okay, so that's 0/1 done. Perfect. Now let's go into data interface serial 0/0. So I'll just quickly show you data 0/0 0/0 2001 colon 0 colon 1 colon 0 colon 2 /64, and then for the 0/1 is 2001 colon 0 colon 1 colon 2 colon 2 /64. So let's go back into the data router interface serial 0/0 IPv6 address 2001 colon 0 colon 1 colon 0 colon 2. Oopsie daisy, what am I doing here? Colon 0 colon 1. Sorry guys, I'm kind of losing it a little bit here. 2001 colon 0 colon 1 colon 0 colon 2 /64. Great. Now let's go into interface 0/1. Right, and let's do IPv6 address 2001 colon 0 colon 1 colon 2 colon 2 /64. Great. Okay, that's 0/0 0/0 and 0/1. They're done. Miami, right? Interface serial 0/0. I'll quickly show you. So Miami 2001 colon 0 colon 1 colon 3 colon 2 /64 2001 colon 1 colon 0 colon 1 colon 2 colon 1 /64. So Miami interface 0/0. So IPv6 address 2001 colon 0 colon 1 colon 3 colon 3 colon 2 /64. And now not interface serial 0/1 IPv6 address 2001 colon 0 colon 1 colon 2 colon colon 1/64, and that's it. Done. Right now we are on task 4. So this is the verification part. So we need to examine. Well, actually, let's quickly just view the answer here. So exactly what we've done here, we've gone into each interface, we used IPv6 address, point IPv6 address and the prefix length, right, each time. Okay, we've done this process 8 times now. Task 4, verify IPv6. So we need to examine each of the 4 routers that that we've configured with IPv6 addresses, verify that we've assigned the IPv6 addresses correctly. But before we continue, correct any configuration errors that we find. Before we continue, connect any configuration errors that we find. Now that you configured IPv6 addressing, what has happened with all the IP addresses that were previously configured on the Tampa, Orlando, Daytona, and Miami routers? So what I'm going to do is let's quickly take a nice screenshot of that. Put down a full screen. Let's just quickly expand that a bit. And let's can I just, where's that screenshot gone? Where's that screenshot gone? Well, I just want to move this into a different screen so it's not kind of in the way. Don't know if I can. Let me put that, for example, into Freevo. Excuse me. What's going on here? Sorry, my screen has gone a bit funny here. What's going on? I just want to put that into freeform if it's going to allow me to do that. What's going on? Sorry, guys. Struggling a little bit here. Just bin that. They're not letting me do that. Sorry, everyone. Mac's having a little bit of trouble here. But let's once I can just move this window out of the way because it's kind of just in the way, not moving. Right, you know what? I tell you what, guys. I might, if this is not gonna move, I might just have to end the video short here and see you in another video. Shall just, because I might just need to restart my Mac now. Okay, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for bearing with me. Thank you.